What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Tall Podcast. Today, we already dropped the video. If you didn't catch my video around 3:30, go check it out. I can't believe we got three players, one on offense, two on defense, that weigh over 300 pounds but want to run the ball. Funny story. We talk a little training camp, but this is breaking news, so I had to come live. Jeremy Fowler just said that Eagles defensive back Cooper DeJean will begin camp on NFI. For those who don't know what NFI is, it's non-football injury related. It was a non-football injury and will be sidelined for 3 weeks with a hamstring injury suffered when he was caught in an awkward position during off-season training per league source. It was unrelated to any prior injury. The Eagles are confident in a quick recovery that he will contribute as expected this season. So again, non-football injury. It happened on his own time. What exactly happened? We don't know. He was caught in an awkward position. Maybe he was doing some strength and conditioning training. Maybe he was just, I don't know. He was caught in an awkward position. Hamstring, which we all know, hamstrings are tricky. If you don't treat a hamstring right, it can linger for like a very long time. You could be dealing with the hamstring 8 to 10 weeks if it's not treated right. So again, non-football related injury. Right now, the prognosis is 3 weeks sidelined. Training camp is here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Practice schedule. We won't see Cooper DeJean. However, this is very interesting. How much work was Cooper DeJean going to get week 1? Right? Like, we don't really know. He's making the roster 1,000%, but what was his role going to be? Starting in the slot, playing some safety, backup slot. Like, we heard the safety talk via the draft process, but that stopped since OTAs and whatnot. Now we get to see a little bit of Eli Ricks, Tyler Hall, Sean Stevenson, right? Zach McPherson, who is back from the injury. A lot of people forget about Zach McPherson. Mekhi Garner, does he have to play safety now, or can he come play a little corner in the slot, blah, blah, blah? Like, we know, I don't know if we exactly know who the locks are via the cornerback position because we're deep outside and inside. However, guys who would have had limited snaps due to Cooper DeJean getting his feet wet will now get an opportunity. And it's never been a question, will Cooper DeJean make the roster? He was always going to make the roster. It was how impactful will he be along with Quinyon Mitchell during training camp, during joint practice, during the preseason to get some type of work during the regular season, week 1, week 6, week 9, playoffs, right? We're not trying to fast forward that fast. But once again, Eagles defensive back Cooper DeJean will begin camp on the non-football injury list and will be sidelined for about 3 weeks with a hamstring injury, which we all know hamstrings are tricky. Got to treat it right. Again, if the Eagles didn't envision a huge role for him week 1, but wanted to see how he comes along throughout the training camp, preseason, whatever, then let him rock. Let him rest. Again, it sucks that it was a non-football injury, but it happened. An injury is an injury. The exact words were, he suffered it when he was caught in an awkward position during some off-season training per league sources. Again, it's not related to the injury he had in college at Iowa. Remember, he didn't have a normal combine for the simple fact that he was dealing with an injury. But now he's dealing with an injury coming into the league. Again, ops, people who are trying to look down on the Eagles, they might try to label him as something. Relax. You know what I mean? He got time. I was definitely curious to see how he steps up in this cornerback room, inside, outside, and if they do bring back this safety look. I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Justin Simmons, and yeah, Justin Simmons ain't really going to come down and play in the slot. But again, it's another defensive back in the room. And if the Eagles were banking on, well, we didn't use Cooper DeJean at safety in OTAs, but we're going to try him at training camp. Well, not for 3 weeks, you're not. So again, Cooper DeJean is a smart player. He's a versatile player. This ain't going to hurt him in the long run. But it's interesting to say the least that we're ready for training camp. And the one thing that we got to keep in the back of our heads, and the most important thing is to come out of training camp with no injuries. Cooper DeJean caught off guard. At least we know he's working. His work ethic is good. He ain't at home playing video games. He literally was in an awkward position during an offseason training workout program, this, that, or the third, and he tweaked his hamstring. But again, I take hamstrings really serious because they can linger. We are talking about July 23rd or 24th. We are talking about the first day of training camp. Even 3 weeks of training camp, he will still be available if the injury, if the hamstring is a light one, as the Eagles are pretty much saying, because the last statement is this: the Eagles are confident in a quick recovery and that he will contribute as expected this season. So are the Eagles saying he was never going to contribute early, or his injury will be healed and he will get his work in enough time to contribute on the same schedule? Comment coming in like it sounds like he's injury prone. Well, here's my thing. Prior to the injury, prior to the late injury in college, he's played a lot of games straight. And now he has a hamstring. Hamstrings are far and few weird type injuries. You know what I mean? They can linger. But again, depending on the athlete, depending on the regimen, the rehab schedule, whatnot, you just got to treat every hamstring differently. But nah, I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and say I know every single time he was injured in college, but I know he has a lot of games under his belt. He came into the league injured. He has a hamstring injury, but that's no reason for me to say he's injury prone. Injury prone would be like it's constant. And prior to this little hiccup at the end of his college career and the start of his NFL, he's played enough. How do you think he became all Big Ten conference? Like, you got to play games. So I won't dare call him injury prone, but somebody that I would love to see prosper in this first 3 weeks of training camp is now going to be sidelined. Like I said, we come in quick with a live stream because I already did my video today, dropped it around 3:30. Make sure you go check that out. It should pop up in the corner around the 7-minute and 55-second mark. Yeah, it should pop up around there. We talk about some things, but let's see what the chat got to say. Pat said camp just opened. DeJean will return before 3 weeks are up. You might be right. Right now they're predicting sidelined for 3 weeks. But again, hamstrings are tricky. The biggest thing we have to make sure doesn't happen is that we rush him back and the hamstring lingers during preseason, during week 1. Then something happens to a starter and or a contributor where he's forced in and he's still dealing with the hamstring. So I just want to treat it with care for sure. Hurt season said our corner position will be good either way. We have Ringo, Rogers, Slay, Quinion, Maddox. It's sad and sadly Bradbury. Yeah, and then I think we're forgetting the guys like Eli Ricks, Tyler Hall, Sean Stevenson, Zach McPherson, right? Guys you didn't even say hurt season, but shout out to you for letting me know the rest of the guys. But the main thing is, right, Cooper, if Cooper ever won his way on the field, if for some strange reason, and I shouldn't even say strange, but if for some reason Cooper DeJean finds a way to start for the Philadelphia Eagles week 1, it won't be at outside corner. It won't be at safety. It would be in the slot. The Eagles, that's the only place I could see him. Maybe beating out Maddox, who might get banged up, Sean Stevenson, Tyler Hall. But that's the only place I could see him starting. And I do think if we needed to ask Isaiah Rodgers, hey, bro, can you play in the slot? I think he can do it. College film says he can. Hasn't done it much in the NFL for sure. But what I said in the beginning before a couple of y'all came in, make sure you hit that like button. Every like on this stream is good juju for Cooper DeJean. That being said, Guys who would have got less reps at whatever position are going to get more reps. Cooper DeJean was never not going to make the roster. But Zach McPherson's on the bubble. Eli Ricks might be on the bubble. Tyler Hall, Sean Stevenson, they all might be on the bubble. And because of this, for 3 weeks, guys that we really don't know, who were undrafted, third-round picks, fourth-round picks, blah, 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 free agent signings, they will get extra reps due to this. So I'm trying to look at the bright side in this, and that's it. Someone said when we first came on here, it could be worse, right? Something could have happened where it was a season-ending injury, Knock on fake wood, knock on real wood. Pause. But at the end of the day, it's a non-football related injury, hamstring messed up. Take care of it, and we got to go about our business. Spike 23 said he'll be a month behind. I mean, yeah. If it's the whole 3 weeks, he'll be a month behind. But he got some good reps. Listen, remember, the rookies got more reps than the veterans, right? There was rookie camp. He got a lot of reps in OTAs. And the dude played some top-notch football at Iowa. Look, I wouldn't want to put any rookie behind the 8 ball. But he seems to be well-versed in what he can do. Like, if the coaching staff are already thinking about using him inside, outside, this, that, and the third, he must be taking into his playbook well, because if the dude is showing signs where he can't even get one playbook down or one set of reps down, you don't move him like we did in little practices on OTAs. Now, I know it's shorts and shirts and there's no helmets and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, yeah, in a perfect world, you want your rookies to get every available minute, rep, practice that they can. They're just getting into the NFL. You don't want to see them miss anything. So he'll be 3 weeks behind if this stays true. But again, you got to make sure that hamstring's right. Trey said 200-ish watching and only 50 likes, something crazy. Hit that button for my guy. Hey, shout out to you. Let's get them likes up to at least 100 for good juju for our guy, Cooper DeJean. Rufus Wallace in the building. Coop not starting week 1. He will play, but not start. We got Isaiah Rodgers, Slay, Ricks definitely will play. And look, Eli Ricks, who had a really, really slow OTA, according to some reports, will now have a lot more opportunities, right? I think Eli Ricks' best game was when he played in the slot, although Eli Ricks has some good games outside. But the game he played versus the Dolphins, right? Really limited. Now, I know Tyreek Hill dropped a couple passes on his own, to each their own, but the overall stat line looked good, and he had that clutch mano-y-mano from the slot. Get that out of my face, swat down on Tyreek Hill. Tua tried to go to him at the end, and he played well. So I'm looking at it like Eli Ricks, Tyler Hall, Sean Stevenson, even Zach McPherson, who's the forgotten body, will get extra reps due to this. Now, yes, our rookie starts behind the 8 ball, but I have all the faith in him, rising back up. Lord Vaughn said, y'all acting like he's not going to be learning still. Yeah, listen, he'll still be able to go through the walkthroughs. We're talking about a hamstring. He's going to be there. He's, I think we're going to ramp things up a little bit. Like, we do a lot of walkthroughs. Well, we used to do a lot of walkthroughs. I feel like this year, there's not going to be as many walkthroughs. There's going to be a lot of padded practices and stuff like that. But he'll still be there. He'll still be listening. When Sean Stevenson does this rep, Cooper can say, why did you do that? And have a little discussion about it. So he will not be lost in the sauce. But ramping up is going to be 3 weeks late for sure. Devin Macklin said, bro, he's not going to IR for hamstring. What are we saying here? Did somebody say IR? No. Look, once again, I'm going to read it for the people just joining in. Eagles defensive back Cooper DeJean will begin training camp on the non-football injury list and will be sidelined for 3 weeks with a hamstring injury suffered when he was caught in an awkward position during all-season training. Again, no IR. The Eagles are assuming it's around 3 weeks until we're going to get him back started up with this hamstring because they want to be cautious. Heck, The hamstring could look fine in a week and a half and they change it. This is just their first initial diagnosis or what they're thinking. Per league source, it was unrelated to any prior injury. So the injury that hurt him in college, it's not the same thing. If it was the same injury, now we're talking, how's that bone? How's that ligament? The Eagles are confident in a quick recovery and that he will contribute as expected this season. So whatever the Eagles thought they were going to get out of him, they still feel like nothing has changed. Whether that was starting week 1 or starting week 7 or contributing week 3. I'm not saying he was going to start week 1. I'm saying whatever the Eagles feel like they're going to get out of him, it's still going to be on that same path. Shout out to my guy, Eagles Playbook Podcast with the $5 super chat. What's good, Philly Mike? We should have brought Hassan back and add another linebacker. Listen, I'm always down for adding anyone in the front 7. Another pass rusher, another linebacker. With the 20 plus million in cap space, I am all for it. Again, we got to see exactly what happens with the Jets and Hassan Reddick. We know he's holding out. Will they cave and give him money? Will they not? We'll figure it out. I do want to say this because I talked about the Hassan Reddick situation in my video around 3:30. I said he would be holding out right now if he was a Philadelphia Eagle, and maybe he would because he does want his money. And he's been firm with that 25 piece. He don't look like he's coming down. However, would him being an Eagle fan, being from the area, would that have played a part? And maybe him still playing for the Eagles, just being like, yo, can I don't know. But he's pretty much stayed on the same route and been determined on what he was saying. Once again, shout out to Eagles Playbook Podcast. Go subscribe to his channel. All you got to do is type in the search bar, Eagles Playbook Podcast. He goes live and drop video. Give him a follow for sure. Fly Park said, give him a few weeks. He'll be fine. Hamstrings is a nagging injury, though. Perfect word, right? I say they're tricky, but the word nagging is a really good word because you really can't diagnose it throughout the process. All you can do is ask the player, how do you feel? How does it feel? How does it feel? And once you think it's good, it could, like hamstrings are real tricky. They're a nagging injury, and I'd rather play it safe for sure. Ty B said, he's going to be just fine. He will heal just fine. That's the type of attitude we need in the chat. First of all, let's just go on a little spam thing. Let's drop the prayer emoji. You know how we do. If this was a Philly Mike live play-by-play and Cooper DeJean got up in the preseason holding his leg and they reported it was a hamstring, we'd be dropping mad prayer emoji. So let's do that for a quick second. That being said, the like button is also good juju for Cooper DeJean, and I'm with you. Again, I'm coming at it like this. I want to make sure the Eagles do the due diligence and give him as much time that he needs off. Make sure he's good before he comes back. I'm saying the fan in me, the fan in y'all should be like, damn, man, I wanted to see Cooper DeJean at training camp. But the Eagles feel good about it. They're going to do the due diligence. We'll see. Lord Vaughn said, I got the undrafted kid Stevens ahead of Eli Ricks. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to start talking about my who's ahead of who as we get some stuff from training camp. I want to, read the book before I start answering questions about the book. You know what I mean? Clearwater BG said Eagles should stay strong on keeping this roster young. No matter who did what, we need to eliminate short one-year deals from our every year answer book. Yes. Again, I do think one-year deals are good when you have a lot of youth. When you have a lot of guys locked up on contract, then you sprinkle in the 1 or 2 year deals. But if your team is consistent always of that, then yeah, you gotta okay, you have 4 1-year deals. They all leave. You got to figure that all out again, whether it's youth or new 1-year deals. Brian said, I agree. Cooper DeJean will start at the start or start in the slot. Interesting. All right, there you go with all the spam and the prayer emoji. Shout out to y'all. 803 Hitman said, I blame ESP for Hassan not being here just because I want to blame him for something. Listen, he still hasn't apologized to DeSean Jackson, so you are perfectly able to blame him for just about anything. You know, it's raining, it's ESP's fault. I mean, the Eagle, it's ESP's fault. I ain't mad at the game at all. Over under 2.5 interceptions for DeJean. That's a tough question. I gotta at least have some information on how he fits on this defensive roster. Like, I gotta know if he's gonna be like, we could get information this training camp, whether he misses all 3 weeks, whether he misses 2 weeks, 1 week, blah blah blah. We can get information that says, man, we now believe Cooper DeJean won't even play one game this year. He might redshirt. I doubt it, but then I don't do that. So I wouldn't ever put a bet like that in Main Fresh until close to the season starting. And now here's the thing. If Vegas learns things that we learn, their line might change too. So I understand you got to get the line sometimes early, but I would wait on that. But if my guy would play, I would take the over. If for some reason he would start by week 3, I'll go over. 3? That's rough, actually. That's rough. Super rough. S said, I hope Cooper will be okay. Once he's healed, we are going to see what he's made of. Everyone keep your head up. Okay, remember, fly, Eagles, fly. Love it, love it. Cool Cat Connor in the building. Definitely go sub up Cool Cat. He said, breaking news, CeeDee Lamb not at training camp. Sheesh, so their training camp started yeah, ours started today too, officially, like not practice-wise, but we definitely started too. So, hey, it's good to always know what can go wrong will go wrong with the Dallas Cowboys. But once again, if you are coming in here, Cooper DeJean will miss the first 3 weeks of training camp due to a non-football related injury. I dropped a video earlier today talking a bunch of stuff pre-training camp. Go check it out if you missed it. We're going to talk for a little bit more because I wasn't planning on here. I wasn't planning the live stream today. Yeah, I mean, I just hopped on here to talk about this. Any more news breaks on it, of course, in my video tomorrow talking about training camp, we'll go over it. Mama E in the building. I'm not worried about him starting because we got him with us for a bit. So we got time to see how he does. Plus, it just means more time to learn. Just excited to see these boys go. Yes, man. Training camp started today. We see him arrive to the NovaCare complex. But guess what? Tomorrow's some grass time. Grass time. Guys like Ringo and Isaiah Rodgers who stepped up. Now we want to see him step up with the pads on, you know? Clearwater BG said if Devin White looks like 2022 Devin White by week 7, they need to extend his contract. I think he's going to perform. He's a guy that I'll be willing to bet. If there's some over-under on tackles or sacks, I got to go check out his over-unders via the Vegas sports line because I might smash a lot of overs on Devin White because he's one of my guys that I believe is going to show up for sure. I'm with you. Lord Vaughn said, Sean Stevens, let's go. I like him. Again, anybody who gets a tryout and signs a 3-year deal, to me, that 3-year deal was super cheap. So he's still eligible to get cut. Just because he signed a 3-year deal, if it's dirt cheap, they'll still just, scrap it. All that being said, anybody who just comes out to try out and shows out, I always love a good underdog story. Low GIK said, you think they will make a milk? You think they will make a move? You think they will make how we go for Simmons now? Damn, I can't read today. On the 5th time, I'll get it right. You think this will make how we go for Justin Simmons now? Again, I talked about it in my yesterday's video. Low GIK. I don't know if you saw yesterday's video, but I said the Eagles putting Sidney Brown on a PUP list, the domino effect of watching the NFL veteran safeties in free agency and Jamal Adams and Eddie Jackson, plus the fact that, once again, Justin Simmons wants something that the Eagles can give him. Them three things right there had me thinking how we go get Simmons. This is just another thing. Again, by the season, Cooper DeJean will be perfectly fine. And DeJean, although he was talked about, we haven't seen him at least in OTAs play at safety. So, we're not bringing Justin Simmons in to the slot, but you really can never have too many secondary pieces. I look at it like we talk about having too many DBs or corners. That's a little different from safety. Some can play both sides, Pauls. But I look at it like if we got to cut a good player, that's still a good thing. If we cut a good player, that means everybody that made a team is even better. So I like it. Which King said, "Come on, bro. How you get hurt a day before camp starts?" Again, yeah. Now here's the thing. It could have happened just today. It could have happened yesterday, but they were feeling it out. All I know is it's a non-football related injury. He'll be out for 3 weeks, suffering a hamstring injury when he was caught in an awkward position during off-season training. I mean, I'm out of shape. If I do, as Philly 500 would say, I'll pull a hamstring once in a while during matrimonial duties. I can't pronounce words. And it's been one of them days. Couldn't read a sentence, can't say that. But yeah, hamstrings are tricky. Zero J said, "What up, bro? What did I miss? What the bleep happened to Cooper? Wow, okay, we still got this. Let's go. Eagles cheers. You already know. Appreciate you for tuning in." Jay Page said he will be good. I just want to see Coop shine and show us what he can do. I believe in Coop, and I know he's going to be just fine. You and me both. Dante, what's going on? Fly Eagles fly on the road to victory. He got me singing the whole song. He's trying to get me to sing the whole song. Any sports, what's going on? What the bleak did he get injured getting out the shower? Who knows? Again, one more time, I'm going to read it. Let's get it to at least 100 likes. Eagles defensive back Cooper DeJean will begin camp on the NFI list, non-football related injury, and will be sidelined in 3 weeks with a hamstring injury suffered when he was caught in a awkward position during off-season training, per league source. It's unrelated to any prior injury, but the Eagles are confident in a quick recovery and that he will contribute as expected this season. A lot of y'all saying he'll be all right. I agree. The fan in me is sad that we won't get to see Cooper DeJean tomorrow. But the Eagle fan in me understands the talent on this roster, and he gonna be all right. Even though this ruins the vibes, we will be good and still be dominant. Go Birds, less work, and win this bowl. You already know. But again, I started this video off by talking about guys like Zach McPherson, Sean Stevenson, Eli Ricks, Tyler Hall getting more reps in the next 3 weeks due to the absentee Cooper DeJean, and it will help some of the younger guys maybe who are eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Somebody gotta go. He ends up staying because of the work that was awarded to him via the absence of Cooper DeJean, because Cooper DeJean could have stunk during training camp. We're not cutting him. You don't cut a rookie who has a bad start to the season. You know what I mean? And see, this is what I'm talking about. Chris B saying it perfectly. He know he gonna be all right, but the fan in him, the high expectation for both these rookies. I want to see Quinyon Mitchell as much as Cooper DeJean. Maybe Quinyon Mitchell more. But I feel cheated, Mike. I really wanted to see him ball out. You already know. But we waited this whole long offseason for Eagles football. It's low-key coming back. We could wait 3 weeks for Cooper DeJean. We waited this long. We could wait 3 more weeks. Shout out to you, though. Izzy Hurt said Milton RB. Milton RB and Milton Williams will shine. Let's play these studs. Milton RB. Oh, Milton the running back. I like it. I like it. Shout out to Child's Play Q with the he said we need to give Andre Sam reps in safety at safety. He must make the team or will regret it in the future. Andre Sam is interesting. I haven't talked about him much, but I had Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's trainer on the show, and he also trains with Andre Sam, and I've seen them train together. And Andre Sam is interesting, and I heard a couple people that know him talk super high of him. So I'm definitely low-key going to be interested in what he has to do at the safety position. Donnie Force and Mekhi Becton, Tyler Steen going to break out. One of them is going to break out. Whoever wins that job didn't get it easily. The other one is not going to deliver it on a silver platter. Whoever wins that job is definitely going to probably be a low-key stud at right guard. Messiah Armstrong, what's going on with you? K-Ball, what's going on with you? Woo, I am tired today. 31 minutes. This is real short for a Philadelphia. This is real short for a Philly Mike live stream. But again, I dropped the video talking about a lot of stuff at 3:30 today. Go check it out if you haven't. Not going to be on here too long. I just wanted to get on here, give you the news. If things change, I will either be going live tomorrow at 10, or I will be either dropping a video after training camp, and any new updates on Cooper DeJean will be definitely reported in there. Charlie G, what's going on with you? Jason Smith said, we're going to be good. Let's hurry and start this season. Time for the Eagles and Jalen Hurts to get their respect, and we're sweeping Dallas this year. I love that energy. Beef Jurgen going to shock outsiders. You already know. Clearwater said Isaiah Rodgers is awesome on and off the field. We got blessed by his misfortune. That is big, big facts. Do need a Red Bull, but it's, 9 o'clock over here on the East Coast. I got some things I got to take care of. I'm going to be up way before training camp because I got some errands to do tomorrow. But again, I'm either live at 10 a.m. or doing a video right after practice with all the information. So definitely make sure you hit the like button. More importantly, today, make sure you have the notification bell rung because tomorrow's video will have a lot of great info. Josh Mitchell, what's going on? He said, I just joined. What's up with Coop? I'm going to read it one more time for anybody who just joined. Eagles defensive back Cooper DeJean will begin camp on the non-football injury-related list and will be sidelined for 3 weeks with a hamstring injury suffered when he was caught in an awkward position during off-season training, per league source. It is unrelated to any prior injury. However, the Eagles are confident in a quick recovery and that he will contribute as expected. So Cooper DeJean won't see the training camp field for 3 weeks. We'll learn about a lot of great other Eagles. Hopefully he comes back sooner rather than later. I believe in him. Y'all believe in him. The Eagles will practice tomorrow for the first time with pads on in 2024. I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. Do your boy a favor. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel, turn on that notification bell. Tomorrow's video will be the first real let's see what's going on in training camp. Good, bad, ugly, sad. We out.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's I like. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, we showing up and we gon' fight. You see, we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we scream and fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Yeah, this is Philly